Using two models, you have to be patient. But using the two models in the classroom would maybe help the teacher's attitude. And maybe it would be good for her to change her perception, her classroom, or maybe her teaching style. So for me, I always limit just to have two models. Other models also, for example, like anthropologists, they have many different models, but they don't develop well. So the interaction model and the medical model, the priorities they look at with disabilities are different, or universal design would pop up too. So let's start with architecture. Some architects realize that with the design model, most of the time they have to think about people with disabilities and people with having a hard time to function. And most of the time, people that need handicap access to buildings, it's accessible. So if you have a building that is set up and that is built, so let's say you had a stage or an auditorium, and most of those have a lot of stairs and things like that. People with wheelchairs may have doubts whether or not they can actually get into the building. So sometimes when they look at the building itself, they may get a little confused. And sometimes the handicap access is in the back of the building. And also, if you enter the building with a wheelchair, there's no guarantee that you will have access to bathrooms and different doors and things like that. So architects need to be careful that when they build a building to make sure that it looks appropriate enough so when people with wheelchairs can go in, they can enjoy what they see. So with universal design changes all that. And it says that if you use the velocity model, that you need to keep everyone in mind, and that people with wheelchairs know and understand that they will have a way to get in. It's the same with deaf and blind people as well. So with this model, you have to think about everyone and how everyone has access to this building. More open, and you could even call it more normal too. So that's related to architecture. So talking about technology, the internet, for example, is so amazing. There's millions and millions of web pages, and people all over the world are connected with each other. So you have Google search, MapQuest, and all different kinds of ways that you can use the internet. But imagine blind people, how do they access that? Or imagine deaf people, how do they access sound to movies and things like that? You simply cannot. A universal design computer has software and programs that everyone can use. So there really is a possible way to achieve that goal, and I really love that philosophy. Most of the time, it's amazing that it doesn't require a lot of work, but it adds accessibility. It can be complex, and it can be difficult too. Universal design and architect and technology, they really are developing so that people have more access and can develop with them as well. And now education realizes also universal design applies to that as well. And some people would say, oh yeah, looking back now, that would definitely have a universal design, before they even had a name for it. And it doesn't matter your sex, your age, religion, if you're quiet or shy, or if you're outgoing, it doesn't matter about your personality. The one place that you could say one place fits all, and the universal design would match your personality and your attitude. In my education degree in this field, we would study the way that people would use principles and would help people understand what it means, what the word disability means, and how it relates to age and religion and ethnicity. I think universal design is really the key to an important way to diversity and to understand diversity of Yod and too. So that's universal design in a summary, and thank you.